Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to another video. Today we're going to get started on the Mezco 112 Collective, The Shadow. The Shadow Knows, the Shadow Strikes. I did a little bit of reading because in all honesty, this is one of the few comic and old pulp characters I don't know much about. So shout out to Paige for giving me some reading material. And yeah, I gotta say, the Shadow this dude is hardcore. Like, Doug Monch even wrote some Shadow stuff and I was like, wow, this is kind of crazy. So there was a ton of stuff I did not know about. So here we are with Shadow. I have left on his cloak and one of the scarves that he get, but I'm actually going to take it off right now so you guys can see what's working on underneath. And I'm going to show you, because he doesn't come equipped with his cloak, there is a small button here, very small button. You should probably be careful with how you open it, because it's one of those things you can easily pop if you don't pay attention. All right, so I popped it open for you. We have our scarf here, and I think this is a new design. I don't think this type of scarf has been done before, where it's already wrapped and pre-made and it kind of sits there. So that's one of those things that you can, talk about because it's new, right? Then we have our cloak. And I do like that they've been doing this elastic on the cloaks to help it sit better. And it works wonders when you're trying to do cool poses. So I'm gonna just gently take this bad boy off, right? And we'll get back to that when we get to accessories. But this is how he comes right out of the package with his head, obviously. And I gotta say, man, this thing is nice. Like, this setup and get up for him is actually very, very nice. One of the things that are very prominent, no matter which version of the Shadow you see, is that he has very prominent nose. So that's pretty cool. And I love that he never takes off his hat. So all the sculpts have the hat on. It's pretty cool. Let's fix that focus. Now we have our beautiful trench coat here. This looks really nice. And if there's any idea of what we're getting more with the cool suit bodies, I'm here for it. I really, really am. Our arms, they can go all the way up. Can we hit a T-pose? I do believe we can, right? It is going to take some effort because there are 3 layers underneath. There's a suit body, our jacket, and the shirt underneath. But yes, he can hit a T-pose. We have our bandolier. A harness, sorry. We have our harness for our holsters, for our guns here. We do have bicep swivel, right? And we are double jointed. Like, it's not a single joint, it is a double joint. Underneath right here, these are wired. So that means when you want to do cool poses for this, it's wired as well. As far as our ab crunch, I do believe it has a very deep ab crunch because even through these 3 layers, it can tuck in very, very nicely. So it's one of those things where for people who are going to take this apart, you're probably going to have a blast. I'm actually very scared to untuck this part, so I'm not going to do that just yet, right? As you can see, we have our long suit here. Our legs can go outward. We have a forward momentum, very easy. Everything about this is very easy going and smooth. We have a beautiful double joint for our legs. We have thigh swivel, right? So even our backwards momentum is really, really nice. Our head can tilt up, down, left, right, A, B, start. Look at that. He can technically hit a flight pose. Not that the Shadow would though, right? Then we have a head and neck combo. It is not a single part. So that means swapping it around, doing all the cool stuff that you want to do, all very easy. Very, very easy. Our ankle pivot. Oh, let's talk about that. We actually have probably the best ankle pivot on the suit body we've ever had, right? So let's talk about that, right? My man is going to be dual wielding. He's a dual wielding champ, right? Yeah, this is beautiful. This is outright beautiful. I'm not even going to try to sit here in front. I don't know anything about the Shadow, but this is probably the best suited body that they've done. We have generous ankle pivot so that they sit flat. We have double joints everywhere, deep ab crunch, and it's a tailored suit that works in the tandem favor for what is going on for our Shadow, right? And I haven't taken off the main jacket yet, but look. Feet are flat, posing is correct. We're in a very good spot. Now, can I speak on the older bodies? Everyone knows that didn't enjoy the single joints, especially when they extended it. So now giving them double joints, really making it work here is utterly fantastic, right? It's one of those things that it took time, but I think this is probably the perfection and creation that came from it. I'm very happy for it. The harness sits a little high, right? But I feel like there's gonna be an adjustment when you get a secondary harness. We'll get to that actually right now because I wanna talk about his cool accessories, right? So here we are. let's leave you just like that, and let's talk about accessories. Now we have our beautiful man here. And I know I said we're going to talk about it, so let's do it. You will get two types of scarves, right? One will be our wrapped one here, which you saw at the very beginning of the video, which I'm actually going to pop that on so you can see, right? You can have your short version, which is probably going to just sit in your head sculpt, right? Which I thought this was cool because you can wrap it all the way up to the nose and then down, and it sits really, really well in there, right? It feels perfect when you want it to just sit in there. Like, it really does. Like, I love the way this looks. But even without his trench coat and jacket, they will give you another scarf, which this one is actually a new type of scarf. It's not as thick as the old Gomez one. This one is much thinner and works very well in tandem for what the Shadow has going on. And again, I've only read a total of 7 issues right now of the Shadow. And I read the Leviathan book, and I'm reading the Shadow Strikes right now. And I've seen him be like a mixture of cover art will have some of this, but inside, like, the scarf is really long. So you can actually just use the scarf to cover up and do both. So that way, if you want the scarf to hang out and look really cool and hang over the shoulder, you can do that. Now look, you're the Shadow. It looks beautiful. One of the other cool things is that the asymmetrical design of the ring. Apparently, he has some sort of low-level telepathy or telekinesis, like like he can hypnotize. So all that stuff been really cool so far. But like I said, I really enjoy this. I know some people are going to want to see underneath. And you know what? I kind of want to see too, but I'm just scared because I can't ever wrap these things back up properly. But you know what? I'm going to do it for you guys. I'm going to do it for you. Let's open it up ever so slightly. I don't think I'm going to be able to Let's open it up just a little bit. Yeah, we have a cool suit body underneath. So yeah, as you can see, you'll get your suit body with a red tie as well. So I won't have to ruin too much of the suit. I'm actually gonna, because I wanted to look pristine when I'm taking these photos. Like, I really do, because this guy is cool as shit, right? And I feel like I'm just messing it up with my ham hands, right? Let's leave you back like this. Let's pose you back up. We're gonna fix your scarf in a second. We all told you about the cape before. The cape is wired all the way through the bottom and down the sides, not inside, but it does furl up and look beautiful when you want to fold it out. The inside is a beautiful dark lush red, but it's gonna appear because the light is hitting it to be lighter, but it's actually a really nice dark red. And I talked about the harness earlier, but as you can see, you'll get a separate harness. This harness, while this one does the guns vertically, right? They aim downward. The other harness holds the guns horizontally, like a cross. So you have another option for a harness, right? Just in case how you want to hold the guns. And speaking of the guns, here's your gun accessories. You're gonna get 2 handguns, right? You get 1, 2, 3, 4 effects. Then you get 4 smaller effects. Then you get 6 magazines, which is pretty cool. These new effects, these are actually brand new. Both of these bullet effects are brand new. These have never been done before, because I just got Prune Face, so I didn't open him up yet. So as of right now, these will be there, and I'll check Prune Face after, because I want to use them in size comparison. You'll also get an assault rifle. It's also known as a Tommy gun to most people, but not to me, because I don't know the real name of it. You'll also get an extra drum mag for it. And then you'll get a classic Mezco effect. It's going to be a large burst effect. I don't know what this is. I didn't get far enough, but this is a cool crystal skull. This is an excellent prop. Again, I haven't gotten far enough in my reading, but I'm hoping I can soon, right? Then you will get a 2-way radio / telefono. This is the telephone arm. It extends like back and forth. So you can like push it in, or you can like extend it out. I don't know who the hell this guy is. But then you can also like rotate the head left and right. And these buttons don't type, but the degree of detail into this is really, really nice. Then I am going to assume that this scale is a scale of justice, right? And you can actually remove the scaling on both sides. I'm gonna actually prop it back up so we can see what it looks like with the 2 scales, but the scales actually even themselves out, right? I have them facing different ways because clearly they fell, but this is pretty cool. I'm assuming this is the shadows people versus somebody else, like corrupt people versus the good people. That's what I'm assuming. Again, haven't gotten that far. Then you'll get hands. Let's actually open these bad boys up, because black on shiny clear through plastic just doesn't work. You'll get item holding hands, like holding the scale, right? You'll get your trigger hands because the shadow is ambidextrous. You get some open action hands. You'll get a pointing hand, and you'll get some open magic hand. And the reason why I say that is because this hand is the same as this one, except this one has the cool magic effect. I'm assuming he uses powers with this hand, right? Last but not least, because I know I did this in a crazy different order, we will do our head sculpts. Here we are with our neutral mean head sculpt. Like I said, the prominent nose is pretty cool because I like that as a distinct look for it. Like they kept and stayed true to it. Then we have this crazy grinning like face. This is crazy because like I wouldn't want this kind of face looking at me, but this is sadistic, man. It's cool though for a toy, but I wouldn't want it looking at me. And that covers all of the accessories. Now, I'm gonna get this guy to look cool, right? I'm gonna pop his cape on so we can do a little bit of posing at the end. We're gonna try something a little different, and let's jump to it. Alrighty, right. Let's jump into the size comparison. I will compare some Mezcos first. I don't have a lot, but cool enough, I was able to open up Prune Face, and wow, this guy is nice. Hopefully I can review him before Dick Tracy comes out. So there we are with the shadow next to Prune Face. So you have a goon you can fight. Also, you can do really cool head swaps. Bada bing, bada boom, right? Then, because they did a team up after I was doing some research, I chose Mezco Sovereign Knight Batman. So the Batman and the Shadow can now team up. It's cool to see Batman here, but it's also pretty crazy to see him shorter than someone else. Let's remove those two. Oh, you know what? This one was for fun. I chose Bartholomew Vex because, like, how would the Shadow react to fighting something paranormal? You know what I mean? So here's Bartholomew Vex. Only because I didn't read that far. So who knows? Maybe he'll be there. Maybe he won't. Then we got my main man, Ichigo. He's going to pop up early in this one since we're comparing Mezco stuff. It's your boy. So yeah, Ichigo and the Shadow team up because Ichigo knows. All right? Let's remove him. Then we can compare to some other lines. Some stuff we have here is going to be stuff like the Marvel Legends Black Panther, right? Then we have Mafek's Scarlet Spider. So you can see how the Shadow actually, even without the hat, he's a tad bit taller than most figures, right? He has the stature though. Like, he has the intimidating build, even though he might be slightly smaller. Then funsies, here's a Jada Toys Ken. And then we have two other figures I'm gonna round it out with, right? Here we are with G.I. Joe Classified Airborne and Action Force Blowback. Let's actually get Blowback to stand up a little bit straighter. There we go. So yeah, he's gonna work in well with your 6-inch stuff and your 112 stuff. I feel like it's a really nice time. But before we go, I wanna show you some cape fun, right? And have a little commentary at the end. I know nearly nothing about this character, but I've had a good time, right? I really did. And it's cool because, like, when you start to research stuff, you're like, wow, like, this guy is old, like Radio, Superman, Batman old. Like, this guy is up to the level with them from back in the day. So it's cool to do a little research, learn something new, read some new comics. Hopefully you guys can do that as well, you know, and maybe you might find a character you like. You never know. But, like, the Shadow teaming up with, like, other people and things like that have always been, like, kind of crazy to me. Let's take our scarf off. Let's pull our cape all the way up and over, right? And then we're going to button them up, and then we're going to put our scarf back on, right? Do a little bit of a cloak posing. So even without that, right? Because I like to sit it underneath the nose. That's why I've seen a lot of the art. Like, you can do cool stuff like just regular old little mist underneath under them, just looking really cool. Just like that, right? You can do things like that. Or if you're into jumping and doing cool poses like me, being extra as hell for no apparent reason, the cloak sits very nicely. You can float these up just a bit. You can do your little gently float noir look, right? You tuck it down in the back. I'm gonna have to fix that scarf, obviously, but here we are. It's subtle, but it looks really good. Like, the flow of it is really, really nice. But again, I'm here to enjoy toys. Let's be real. Like, I know a lot of people, they want more out of their toys. In my personal opinion, my toys bring me joy because everyday life may not always do that. So it's pretty cool to kind of look for what you can enjoy and be different. And I'm hoping what I do does help people, because lately it feels like it doesn't. So I'm really hoping when people sit down and watch videos that I'm being informative and helpful. So I hope these little things have given you that little spark of joy you need, no matter how big or how little. I really hope it comes to you and when and wherever you need it, right? So please, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for enjoying. And as always, please be good, do good, and drink your water, guys. Later.